Middleware. So let's understand what are the middleware we have in ASP.NET Core. So middleware is a chain of function which are executed before the request and response being processed. So if you are willing to inject your code before the request processing, so with the help of middleware we can do it in ASP.NET Core. Same way before the response rendering into the client side, if you want to intercept the response, so with the help of middleware we can do it. So middleware actually used to build the request pipeline, and middleware are executed in the same order in which they are added. So whatever the order you have used for adding the middleware, in the same order they are going to be executed. And the typical example for middleware uses are, you can use middleware for user authentication, logging and error handling. So these are the various tasks you can easily achieve with the help of middleware in ASP.NET Core. Now let's have a look on the ASP.NET Core middleware pipeline. So middleware, I said, we use before the request processing and before the response rendering into the client side. So in middleware you can write your own custom logic which is going to be executed before the request execution, and there can be n number of middleware. So in the middleware there is a next method. So this method will move the execution to the next middleware after executing the logic which you have written in the middleware. Same way in the middleware too, your custom logic will be executed, then with the help of next method is going to be moved to the next middleware, and so on. So in this way the request is going to be proceeded in the step-by-step way into the controller, then action, and then finally when the response will come to render into the client side. Same way you can have the middleware custom logic which you can execute before rendering the response into the client side. So this is a typical middleware pipeline you should know. So let's see what are the types of middleware we have. So the middleware, we have built-in middleware and we have the custom middleware. So ASP.NET Core came with some of the built-in middleware which you can use for authentication, which you can use for exception handling, and for various purposes you can use. Even you can create your custom middleware as well as per your requirement. So this is about the middleware in ASP.NET Core. Built-in middleware. Let's see what are the various built-in middlewares are available in ASP.NET Core, which we generally use when we build our ASP.NET Core application. So some of the built-in middlewares are, like, we are having the middleware for serving the static files. So what are the static files you are willing to serve in your application? So for that we need to register a static files middleware. Next one is here routing middleware. So if you want to use routing in your ASP.NET Core application, so there is a routing middleware. Then we are having a middleware for error handling. So if you want to show the custom error page for the end user, and if you want to show the detailed exception page for the developer, so that thing we can handle here with the help of error handling middleware. The next one is here authentication middleware for checking the user authenticity. So if you want to inject your custom code for checking the user authenticity, so with the help of authentication middleware you can do it. Then we are having a session middleware. So session is not enabled in our ASP.NET Core application by default, we need to enable it. So we are having session middleware for tracking it at request level. Then there is a cookie policy middleware which you can use to implement, or you can say to apply the cookie policy in your application. We are having MVC middleware also to use the MVC routing, because MVC is not enabled by default in our ASP.NET Core application, we need to enable it. Now let's proceed to the middleware configuration, like how we can configure our own custom middleware, even how we can configure the built-in middleware. So for the middleware configuration, there is a configure method in the startup class which is used to set up the middleware in our ASP.NET Core application. And middleware we always configured by using two methods. So the first method is here app.use method. This is used to configure the middleware and proceed to the next middleware in the pipeline. Because in the ASP.NET Core request pipeline, we can have n number of middlewares. So after executing the first middleware logic successfully, we need to proceed to the next middleware. So in that case, you should use app.use method. The next one is here app.run method. So app.run method will help you to configure the middleware and also terminate the pipeline. It means if you have configured a middleware using the app.run method, after executing that middleware logic, no further middleware is going to be executed. So be aware of while you are using the app.run method. So after the app.run method, no middleware would be called. Now let's see how we can use the built-in middleware in our ASP.NET Core application. So I'm having the Visual Studio 2019. So let's create a new project here. And I'm just creating here a typical ASP.NET Core web application. So click on the next button, then define your application name as middleware. So this is my middleware is the project name I'm defining here. Now click on the create button. And here what I'm doing here, I'm just selecting here the MVC template for creating the ASP.NET Core web application. So our project has been created here successfully. Now let's have a look where the middleware information you will find in your code. So I said here in the startup class, we configure the middleware. So in the startup class, there is a configure method. In the configure method, we configure the middleware. If you will see, there is a use developer exception page. It's a middleware to show the exception error in the developer environment. There is a use exception handler to show the error on the production environment. So it's a custom error page. Same way, there is a middleware we are adding for the static files. There is a middleware for the cookie policy. There is a middleware for using the MVC in your application. So these are the predefined, or you can say the built-in middleware are added automatically when we created our ASP.NET Core application. Because if you will not added this middleware, we cannot use the routing in our ASP.NET Core application. Same way if you want to use session. So for using the session, first of all, we need to add the session service here in the configure services method. So what I'm doing here, I'm just adding here the session, add session. It is the same way as we added here the MVC service, same way we added here session service as well. Now to using the session, just call here app.use session. So this is the way we added the middleware for using the session in our ASP.NET Core application. Same way you can use other built-in middleware also. Let's say for authentication you can use. So this is the configure method where you can configure the built-in middleware, and this is a configure service method where you can configure the services in your application to use with the L4 dependency injection. Because here iService collection is a container where we are adding all the services so that further we can use it in across the application. This is about the built-in middleware we have in our ASP.NET Core application. Custom middleware in ASP.NET Core. So far we have discussed about like built-in middleware in ASP.NET Core which we can use for various purposes. Let's see if you are willing to create your own custom middleware. So how we can create. So I'm using your last project which we have created in our ASP.NET Core application. And this project just do one thing. I just commented out this use MVC middleware. I just commented out because I want to show the way like flow of the code, how the flow is working. So the custom middleware can be created here with the help of the use method. So how we can create it? We can create it using, let's say, app.use method, and here we can take the help of lambda expression. So here in the with the help of lambda expression we can create a inline middleware. So I'm just using here async. We get say async middleware, then pass here context, then next, because we need to go to the next middleware component. Now here we need to write the code here. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using here, let's say await, then context, then response. So in the response directly I'm writing. So I'm writing directly in the response. So it should be here response, and here a day, let's say context. Then call the method here, write async. And the right hand thing, let's say I'm just giving this middleware name as middleware A. Let's say A middleware. Now here I'm just defining here, let's say A middleware before. Let's say middleware A before, because the middleware calls 2 times, before processing the request and before processing the response. So this will called before processing the request, then we need to await, then call here next, so that it will move to the next middleware. Then when it will come to then the response, then we need to define here same way, await response dot write async middleware A after. So we are just calling it in the when the response we are going to render, that time this method is going to be. Same way we can define in a middleware B, we can define in a middleware C also. It's B, so middleware B before, middleware B after. And you know, we used here either use method or we can use here either run method. So let me show the example of run as well. So run method should mention in the middleware pipeline the last, because this terminate the middleware pipeline. So it does not contain the next, even it does not having this next. So it should be here only async context, async context. It's having only one parameter. So let's say middleware C, it's not before and after, because it will terminate the middleware pipeline after executing this one. So this way we have just registered 3 middleware A, middleware B and middleware C, and here we are terminating the pipeline. So after this one it will not execute any other middleware. So you can uncomment this line if you want to check it whether it's rendering the page or not. So it will not render the page, because here we are terminating the pipeline. So how it is working, let's understand it with the alphabet diagram. So it is working here like this way. So when you will make the request, it will go to the middleware A, and what the logic you have written in the middleware A before calling the next method, that logic would be executed before processing the request. Then next method move the next method proceed the execution of the request to the next middleware, that is middleware B, and the middleware B again the logic will be executed, and by calling that next method you can move the request execution to the middleware C. So we are having the middleware C, but middleware C we are registering using the run method. So the middleware C terminate the request, terminate the request execution. So from here it will return the response. So it will return the response to the middleware B. So whatever the logic you have written after the next in the middleware, it will be executed. Same way it will go back to the middleware A. So whatever the logic you have written in middleware A after the next, it will be executed. And finally the response will enter into the client. So your client might be browser, your client can be any other application as well. So where it's going to be rendered. So this is the way how the custom middleware pipeline we have created here. Now let's see the actual execution, how it is working. So it should run in the same order. So what I can do here to check the order, I'm just putting here an arrow so that we can see it's this way. And here in the A it said last one. So let's put here dot, because here the pipeline is going to be end. So let's run the code and see in which order they are going to be executed. So you can see here first it is calling the middleware A before, then it is calling the middleware B before, then it is calling the middleware C, then it is calling the middleware B after, then middleware A after. So this is the similar sequence as I shown in the picture. In the similar way the middleware pipeline is going to be executed. So this is the way how we created the inline middleware. But if you are willing to create a middleware in the separate file, you can also create, because we never mention the entire code in the configure method. We always write our middleware in the separate file. So let me show the way how you can create your middleware in the separate file. So let me comment this statement, and here we can add a middleware in the separate file. So what you can do here, to identify, you can add a folder also. So let's say I'm adding here a folder, and the folder name I'm just giving it, let's say middleware. I'm just adding my folder name as middleware. In the middleware, let's add our own custom middleware. So there is option here, new item, and the new item you can go to the ASP.NET Core. In the ASP.NET Core there is a web. In the web you have to go to the ASP.NET. Then here you will find out a class, a middleware class you will find. So in the middleware class you will get the code which will help you to create the middleware, like which will help you to create your custom middleware. So let me define my middleware. I'm defining my middleware name. Let's say my middleware, or I can define, let's say, custom middleware. So let's say middleware name is custom middleware. I'm adding here. So it's added here a custom middleware having the custom middleware constructor where we are creating the request delegate instance using the next, and this next we are assigning here when we are calling this middleware here. And there is a invoke method. In the invoke method you can write your own custom logic which you are willing to execute, either before request processing, either before response processing. So here I can write my logic, and it's not a asynchronous middleware, it's a synchronous middleware because we don't have here any async. So this code we can write here in the synchronous fashion. So what you need to do here in the synchronous fashion, we can use here the HTTP context. Then there is a response. I can use a response. The same method I'm just calling here write async, so that we can see what method, how it is going to be executed. So it would be here, let's say custom middleware. So I'm just mentioning here custom middleware. So this is going to be executed here, but here you need to write the code which you want to do in this middleware. So this middleware you can write for user authenticity as well. If you are willing to create your own middleware to find out the user authenticity, so here you can write the code. And if you will see here, there is extension method is also added here. This extension method we will use for configuring the middleware in the startup.cs file. If you will see, this class is having a method, a extension method is having use custom middleware. And this use custom middleware method we are adding to this interface iApplication Builder. So wherever you are having the iApplication Builder interface instance, you can call this method use custom middleware. And if you will look into the startup class, in the startup class we are using here iApplication Builder interface instance. It means using this instance I can call this method because it is an extension method. So extension method, we use to extend the behavior of an existing class or interface without altering its structure. So same thing we are doing here. We are just adding this method into the instance of this iApplication Builder. That's why here I can call it directly. So I can call it here directly app.use custom middleware. We use this name, use custom middleware. It will available. And for accessing this one, we need to add a namespace as well. So let's add the namespace, that is middleware.middleware. It's a namespace. So middleware is the project name and middleware is the folder in this way. So in this way we can register our own custom middleware. If you want to check it, just do one thing. Let's for a while comment this line so that it will not render the view page, and we will see the directly output. And here you can put the breakpoint. Now run the code and see how it is executing our own custom middleware. So you can see it is coming over here. Do continue. I'm getting the output as custom middleware. So perfectly it is executing. Even this middleware we can convert into asynchronous. So we can make the async middleware as well. So what the change I need to do here? So let me comment this code so that you can refer it as a reference. And I am just using here async. You need to just mention here async and here just use await. By mentioning the async and await, we can convert our middleware in asynchronous fashion. And you don't need to mention a now return. It would be here only await. Now it is a asynchronous middleware. Now run the code and the same way it will be executed. So you can see I'm getting the output here. So in this way you can create your own custom middleware, and middleware can be used for authentication, authorization, for exception handling, for various other activities we can use middleware. So objective of middleware is before request processing, if you want to execute your own custom logic through the middleware we can inject, even before returning the response to the client. If you want to customize the response, if you want to manipulate the response with the Alpha middleware, you can also do. So this is all about the custom middleware in ASP.NET Core.